Another Blackboard seminar, this time looking a bit more closely at the links between exercise and mood, or particularly thinking about which type of exercise to do according to which mood. This is stuff that we think about every day here at the Soma Space, and it's also something we invite you to think about as you go through or begin a movement for mental health journey using our YouTube content. We often find that, particularly if we're working with people who are coming to exercise completely new, or after a long break, or if they've been struggling with, let's say, depression or anxiety, we think very carefully about the kinds of exercise that we invite people to do. And to think in a bit more detail about that, what we've put here is, what do I need? Exercising according to mood, with a range of things somebody might be thinking and some suggestions on how to exercise, let's say the way to theme the exercise. So for example, if someone is feeling very anxious, we might suggest to them that what they need to do is stuff that involves a bit more grounding, thinking about their feet on the ground, literally the feet underneath, the ground underneath their feet rather. And also working in this LISS, or low intensity steady state exercising. This is something that's, let's say it's a way of doing exercise that's quite low intensity, but perhaps over a longer space of time. We've found that grounding and LISS work really helps people who are struggling with anxiety. If somebody was feeling very frustrated, frustration can be a very good motivating factor in exercise. Then if someone's feeling frustrated, what they might need is some form of release. And in that case, what we often do is program interval training, short bursts of quite high intensity exercise, or something like boxing allows people to get some of their frustrations out, or using a slam ball. Finding some release is often the answer to a feeling of feeling very frustrated. If someone is feeling that they have a very low mood, if they feel very flat, if they feel very depressed, then often what we find works is doing a longer stretch routine to bring them back into their body, to simply notice themselves stretching out, doing a lunge or doing a downward facing dog or a hamstring stretch or any of those things. Slowly bringing them back into the body. Depression can often manifest very much in the mind, a feeling of hopelessness. And what also comes with a low mood is, let's say, an absence of energy. So we might do a bit more of this as well. Interval training, boxing, stuff that very quickly raises the heart rate, helps people get a bit of a sweat on, and raises the energies. Boxing, we find, is the number one way to assist people with low mood. If someone is feeling very stuck, then we might think about doing stuff that's a bit more flowy. This is where something like Tai Chi, or let's say kettlebell swings, can really help to let's say, to shift someone on from something of a stuck state. Let's say that feeling stuck internally can often manifest externally. People become very stuck in their musculature, in their posture. And we find that doing things that encourage them to flow a little bit more are a great way of, let's say, shattering this rather stuck state that people can find themselves in. And lastly, I've put here too much mind. What do I mean by that? Often, as we know, mental illness tends to mean that people are very within their own thought patterns, very stuck in their own mind. The solution to this, often we find, is doing more body. This might sound rather obvious, but what we mean by that is coming to think about themselves and to experience themselves as a body as well as a mind. Certainly, periods I've struggled with low mood, with depression, with anxiety, I've felt as if all I really am is a mind. And it's at those moments when becoming a body, perhaps using heavier loads or doing exercise or simply going for a long walk, reminds me that I'm also a body as well as a mind. So this is how we think about exercising for mood here at the Soma Space. A number of different possible states that people might arrive in, and some ideas of what to do more according to those states. Something to think about as you begin your journey with movement for mental health using our content.